Good morning, everyone. Today, inshallah, we will start our course in linear algebra. This course is a very nice course. It's actually, we will try to mimic the course over there in Lisbon with all the details, even the slides and everything. And I've insisted on putting this comments. You will find it in almost in some of the slides, okay? What I want to go first, this is our course code, you should have it. It's 11505. The course name is Linear Algebra and Analytic Geometry, so it's actually a link between linear algebra. Most of the course is talking about linear algebra, going through the contents. I will go through it shortly with you. Then by the end of the course, you will take an application on the topics that we did go through in linear algebra and analytic geometry. One of the famous things like straight line and the pen and problems like this, okay? So let's start. Of course, all the course notes, references, official stuff for resources and everything, you will find them all on Moodle. Also, you will need to register on CLAPS as soon as you have your FCT emails with you. And also for the frequency activity, it's gonna be on Moodle also, and I will talk about it shortly, inshallah. For the time being, this recording in the Cairo campus and the lectures, as I told you before we start, you will find the recorded lectures as long as there is no interference with the university policy. You will find all these recorded lectures on the YouTube channel. I've already told you about it. And this is just only for the Cairo campus. Most of the slides used, some of them are mine from my book, but we are not gonna, we will use just only some of them for more clarification or to have a rapid idea or a more faster idea to the main points that I want to highlight with you. Other than that, we will go through the slides that's made and sent to us from the Department of Mathematics in the Lisbon campus. Okay, I would like to go with you with the evaluation rules. Most of them are new for me, as I told you previously, this is, I believe this is the second week for me with Nova. So most of them are new, but they sent it to me yesterday, and I really insisted to share it with you, okay? The first of them is what's called the frequency. Frequency, it's like tasks. You will have tasks, and it will be sent to you. It's like exercises, okay? After each part that we are going to talk about, to obtain approval for the for the linear algebra and analytic geometry. This is the abbreviation of the course name. Okay, CU. The students must have frequency in the current semester. The frequency is like forms. You will have to go through it. Okay. Each of these tasks you will have 2 weeks, so please don't do that once it's open and once you see it, try to solve it, as long as we cover it in the classroom. So at once try to handle it, okay? Maybe if you like to solve it and to take the opinion of your companions, it's okay too, okay? But you will have to follow up with this matter. It's really very important. Also, they insisted that if you did failure to complete more than 3 frequency activities, you're not going to be able to enter your exams, and it will make a lot of difficulties down there. So don't do it. Just only once you have a form or something or a task to do, just to go through it, it's going to be really very simple. Second thing is the continuous evaluation. You will have 2 tests. I've addressed this issue with them about the timing of these tests. I sent them today to the program director in order to see how we are going to manage that. The 2:30 time, it's Lisbon time, so it's about 4:30 here in Egypt. So if this test goes for 2 hours, it's going to be a problem. We will try to handle it as fast as possible, but at least for the time being, you know that the first test is going to be by the end of October. This is really important. I would like you to take a photo for the screen here, although it's going to be recorded, but this is really very important. This is very, very important about it. Okay? So the first is going to be by the end of October. The second is going to be by the 16th of December. As I told you, I've addressed already the problem of the timing because of the time lag between Lisbon and Egypt. So, but still waiting for the effect. Okay? These are the main two tests. It's like that will form the general grade for you, each one of them from 0 up to 20. The shares for these two tests are 0.4, 40% from the first exam, from the overall grade. The second one is going to be 0.6 for the second. In order to find final classification, the FC, you should pass these two exams by if they are approximated to 10, then you will pass. So if you get 930, 950, so that's the least grade that you will have. If you get 930 or something, it will be approximated to 10, so you can pass easily for these two tests. But if you get greater than 15 marks in these two tests, you will have to have a defense exam in order to keep the marks that you need. If you are satisfied with the 15, it's okay, you don't have to do anything and you will have the 15 marks. Okay. This one, this two, both of them, they will, once you get the grades, it's going to be 0.40% from the grade of the first exam, plus 60% from the grade of the second exam. So both of them, when you get them together, okay, it has to be greater than 9.5 in order to pass this video. Otherwise, oh, I'm sorry, you are not going to be able to pass it, of course. I know. Hopefully, all of you will be able to do that, and it's going to be simple for you. The second matter, if you got 15, more than 15, if you get 0.41 plus 0.62, and you get like 16, 17, 18, 19 out of 20, something like this, okay, if you didn't do anything, they will give you will have 15 marks. This is the maximum. But if you want to defend your grade out of 20, but if you want to defend the extra marks that you have more than 15, you will have to have a defense, another exam or another test, a defense test. Okay, and anyhow, if you passed by T1 or T2 greater than or equal to 10, so you are in a very good shape. It's really up to you. If you want to improve your marks, you can go to the final exam. Otherwise, you are satisfied with the previous two exams. لو انت جبت في تيست 1 تيست 2 10 خلاص مش محتاج تخش الفاينل يعني I think it's easy بس انا مدرسة فاينل to go through okay شايف كده مش موضوع لا, more than 15 there will be a defense exam. Okay. Above 15 you will need to be sure that you are very good in your grades, you deserve that mark, blah blah blah. So there is another test for you. If you enter, you will get your 15. So if you got 17, you will end up شباب just a second شباب إبراهيم ملك عرفت اسمه وزينة صح؟ زينة جميل طبعا خلينا نتفق على حاجة وقت ما نتكلم في جامعة تتكلم عشان الكل يفهم كل حاجة for the time being انت دلوقتي عندك اخش تيست 1 اخش تيست 2 say I've got 9.6 it will be approximated to 10 كده انت خلاص انت باص you want to improve it you have the right to enter the final exam as long as you have your frequencies done and you are registering on clip you have the chance to enter what the final exam all the students who are registered and doing the frequency test, the frequency forms, they will be eligible to enter this exam. If you want to go through it, then the mark in this exam will be the mark that's going to be represent for you or sufficient for you in order to to pass this the final classification. Okay, if I got 10, I don't have to. But if you need to improve it. For all cases, if you got more than, greater than 15, either in the tests, test 1 and test 2, or if you get greater than 15 in this exam, you will have to have a defense test to be sure that this is your grade. So if you got like 16, 17, it will do you a test, another test. If you get a mark in this test, it's okay, you will get your 17. Okay, you didn't get it, you didn't enter, you will have 15. شباب انتوا فاهمين انا قلت ايه؟ تاني بعيد تاني. معلش خليك معايا. بعيد تاني. انا جبت 15. جبت 15. خلاص مش مطلوب منك حاجه. طيب انا جايب 18 17 روعه. ال 18 اللي انت جايبهم دول عايز تاخد 18 اوت اوف 20 هيبقى في تيست تاني مجرد انك انت تخش فيه تو ديفند الجريدز اللي انت جايبها على نفس البروجرام. نفس يعني نفس الليفل تقريبا يعني. ده اللي عندي. انا ما عنديش اكسترا ديتيلز، دي الديتيلز اللي انا معاك زي بالظبط. طيب ثانيه واحده. طيب انا دخلت خلاص انا جبت 18 بس انا ساتسفايد ان هو هيديني 15. This is the maximum for test 1 and test 2. اوكي خلاص يبقى انت تاخد 15 بتوعك. طيب ما تخشوش، ما حدش جبرك. انت عايز، انت جبت 18 17. احنا just we want the university want or the school want to be sure that it is your grade, you understood everything, there is nothing.
طب لو جبت اقل من 18 مثلا
you will take 15. You will take the mark that you are getting.
يعني لو جبت اقل من 18 طب لو جبت
18 هتاخد الجريد الاول اللي انت جبته اللي هو 17. Other than that, okay, you will get the 15. كلامي ماشي كده؟ واضح؟ خلاص يا ابراهيم؟ تمام يا شباب. طيب بالنسبه للجريد امبروفمنتس وما عندوش مشكله تعمل جريد امبروفمنتس ايضا في الاكزام او خلافه، بس you will have to go the information at the academic office. You will handle that. طيب most of the tests and the exams it has to be registered on PEP. لو انت ما عملتش registration on PEP يبقى الكلام ده هيبقى فيه مشكله فيه. فانت على طول مجرد ما انت الاف سي تي ايميل ينزل معاك يبقى انت على طول هتعمل ريجستريشن للمواعيد بتاعت التستس بتاعتك. طبعا الريجريشن اللي هنمشي فيها في البروسيس مع بعض ان شاء الله. For these couple of slides I will share it with you as fast once you do the WhatsApp group. By the end of this lecture I will send you a PDF containing all these details. It should be with you in all times. Okay? Okay, done. For our course, the course is really very simple. The course consists of the following. We will start by matrices. You should understand. It's really very simple. Okay, guys, شباب. من أول هنا خلاص ده الكورس بتاعنا. اللي قبل كده شوية معلومات تمام. بس من أول هنا لا أنا عايزك معايا كويس وخصوصا في البداية. At the beginning, definitions, tensors, everything. So step by step تاني الأمور تمام. وأنت تشوف ده المعنى. احنا هنبدأ مع إيه الأول؟ The first we will talk about matrices. Then the chapter which is going to come after that, it's an application of matrices. I look at it, it's an application of matrices. In matrices you will know the definition of a matrix, number of rows, number of columns, the types, the properties of these class of arrays or how to deal with them. Then in solving a system of linear equations, how to use the knowledge that you had at matrices in dealing with them. Then you will have some knowledge about determinants, which also make you capable of using another methods or more methods for dealing with linear system of equations. And then also you will need this module in determinants in the coming chapters. Then we will go to vector spaces, then the linear transformation. You will take also eigenvalue and eigenvectors and some operation on vectors like the inner product, vector, mixed products. Then we will go through analytic geometry. As you can see, our course contains a lot of details, but really it's very simple. If you understood each part of them very well with the details and how it should be done, you will find it really very easy. Okay? Let's start.
بس المشكله ان الامتحان نفسه مش مليون يعني لا مش
هبعت لك انا النولج دي بعد بص عليها. Okay. خلينا we will go for this after the lecture. Okay. لما اخلص نتكلم. ماشي الحال؟ ها شباب معايا؟ Okay. Let's start with some definitions. It's really very important. Once you see R, it stands for the set of all real numbers. I think all of you know what we mean about real numbers. Numbers, we are talking about the number line. So it starts from 0, you will have the positive numbers to the right, and you will have the negative numbers to the left. Those go to positive infinity and others go to negative infinity. So R stands for the set of real numbers. When you see C stands for the complex numbers, or the imaginary numbers. And those class of numbers, you will sometimes need them. They are not exist in other disciplines, but in engineering or in the School of Science and Technology, you may need to know about the imaginary numbers. And I'm sure you have some knowledge about them, like 3 plus I or 2 minus 2I or something like this. We call it the complex number, the complex or the imaginary numbers. Then you have K. Once you see K, stand for scalar value and maybe represent real numbers or complex numbers. So once more, R stands for what? Real numbers. Okay, C, complex numbers. Once you see K, stand for both of them. Because I may have matrices, as we will see down the road, consisting of real numbers, real entries, or with complex entries. N and M belong to the natural numbers. The natural numbers are the positive integers, starting from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So, I think this is really very important to be in mind in all times, to maybe a lot, to understand or to imagine what we mean about the numbers or the entries in any matrix. The general definition of a matrix states that this is the mathematical definition of a matrix. If I won't write it for all mathematicians, for all the people to understand, it's going to be like this. So I'm telling everyone what I'm doing here, it's an announcement with an explanation of what we mean about matrix. It's let M and N belongs to M. So my understanding now, M represents numbers like 2, 3, 4, and 5. And similarly like. Then he will continue and he will say a matrix M by N, it means the dimension as we will see in the coming slide. M stands for the number of rows in a matrix. N stands for the number of columns in a matrix. So any matrix is defined by the dimension. What we mean about dimension, the number of rows, then the number of columns. Usually, we start with the number of rows, then the number of columns. Okay, over K, once we say over K, so you understand now, it may stand for real numbers or complex numbers, because K, it contains these two meanings. Okay, perfect. Is a correspondence from 1 to M. So rows starting from the first till the nth row, and 1 to n, the columns starts from the first till the nth row. كل اللي حضرتك شايفه ده انا اقدر اكتبه بسهوله قوي زي ما هنشوف كمان شويه ان اعمل capital letter which stands for a matrix, and I will write A M sub n, which means M stand for the number of rows, and the N stand for the number of columns that exist in this matrix or in this array. Okay, I can write it in general as this matrix, which consists of m rows, n columns. It's correspondence into K. Also, I and J stand for each element of this matrix. We will go through it shortly in the next slide. تعالوا معايا كده السلايد اللي بعدها توضح لك الموضوع ده. بص كده، لو انا عندي ماتريكس A، ماتريكس دي موجود فيها number of rows. So each one of these rows, this is the number of rows. So it will be written here. As you can see, it's an m rows. Starting from the first row, second row, third row, fourth row, nth row. Then the numbers in the column form starts from the first column, second, third, fourth, up to the nth column. So it's an m by n. So if I like to write, if I won't write 3 by 2 matrix, if I say to you A 3 by 2, what we imagine? We imagine a matrix like this that contains 3 rows and 2 columns. That's 3 times 2. The number of entries in this matrix is going to equal to 3 times 2, which is 9. But you're not going to throw them this way. Each number or each entry of these entries will be governed by 2 imaginary numbers. Determine their exact position. So you will have the entry A11, which stands the value in the first row, first column. Then you will have A12, first row, second column. And you will have A2 and 1, second row, first column. Same way like A22. Then you will have A31 and A32. This is for the general numbers. So a set or a matrix belongs to this set or this class of matrices may be simply to be like this. 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, I, something like this. So once you see it, now it's 3 rows, 2 columns. If I want you to identify the element 21, element 21, what's the value of the element 21?
Second row, first row.
Which is 2. Okay. The third row, the element 32. The element 32. Zena. 32. It's gonna be odd. Okay. يبقى خلاص. دايما انا احب قوي الديفينيشن بتاع الماتريكس. It's an arrangement of numbers that exist in rows and the columns. Each number or each entry of these entries are governed by its row, or by the row and the column represent this value. خلاص انت خلي بالك الديفينيشن احنا خدنا فيها قد ايه؟ طيب انا ضيعت ده كله ليه؟ ما هو انا كان في البدايه خالص هقول لك ببساطه matrix an arrangement of numbers that exist, rows, columns. 3 by 3, 3 rows, 3 columns. 3 by 4, 3 rows, 4 columns. 4 by 3, 4 rows, 3 columns. خلاص it's done. طب انا ليه اديتك ده؟ او ليه مشيت بده فيه؟ لسبب لان عايزك تاخد ازاي بكتب الرمز بتاع ماتريكس. لما اشوف from 1 to m ما تخضش. هو بس الراجل بيجي يقول لك ايه؟ يعني خلي بالك انا مستريس على الفاكت ان الاري ده شغال from 1 to m rows and from 1 to n columns. That's it. Okay. Perfect. خلاص understood. جميل. انزل على بعض. طبعا نفس الكلام اللي احنا قلناه بالظبط هو برضه موجود عندك في السلايدز. يعني بيقول لك the element of A in the second row first column هيبقى ايه؟ 21. لو انا عايز اتكلم على رو بالتحديد هقدر اجيب وهكذا column رو. اعتقد الاكزامبل ده يبقى اصغر بكتير قوي. الناس كلها تبص على الماتريكس اللي موجوده قدامي. الدايمنشن بتاعها كام؟ 3 4. Okay. The element 2 2. The element 2 2. Okay. 2. Okay. Element 3 3 4. It's gonna also be equal to 2. Okay. Can you give me the entries of the second row? 3 2 4 and. Okay. I need the entries of the third column. 3 4 and -3. Okay. The principal diagonal. What's the principal diagonal? The principal diagonal are the diagonal which elements have the same number of rows and columns. So it will form from A11, A22, A33, A44 if the dimensions can count. So for here it's gonna be 2 and 4 negative. That's for the diagonal. Okay? It's called the principal diagonal. طبعا الاليمنتس دي موجوده عندك. كمان حاجه ماتريكس A انا اقدر اكتبها ازاي؟ ماتريكس A دي is a special case. Those 2 and 2 -3, this is called the principal diagonal in any matrix. Okay? It will be more obvious in the square matrices. I will talk about them afterward. اللي انا عايز اقول لك عليه وعايز اكد عليه جنب ابراهيم اسمك ايه؟ احمد. بص يا احمد كده انا كاتب ايه؟ A belongs to the set of all matrices that consists of 3 rows and 4 columns with entries in real numbers. So actually this matrix, it's a one of plenty of matrices from the same dimension of 3 rows, 4 columns. This is the way that I can write A belongs to the whole set of matrices of 3 by 4 or 3 rows, 4 columns. Okay, شباب? Any questions? Okay, perfect. Okay. هنبدأ نتكلم على بعض البروبرتيز الخاصة بالماتريسز. يبقى أنا دلوقتي عرفت يعني إيه ماتريكس؟ الناس كلها. في الآخر خالص مصري؟ محسن. اسمه ايه؟ بص مستر محسن. العملية بدأ ازاي؟ هو الأول ادالك definition of a matrix، صح كده؟ خلاص الكل دلوقتي عارف number of rows، number of columns، أي element موجود داخل الماتريكس أقدر أمد إيدي وأمسكه، صح كده؟ أوكي، perfect. هبدأ أتكلم على إيه دلوقتي؟ على operations. إيه الأوبريشنز؟ أول واحدة فيهم equality. بعدين addition subtraction. بعدين multiplication. There is a lot of types of multiplication. We will go through them one by one. The first of them is equality in matrices. تعال نقرا ازاي مكتوب وبعدين نتاكد ان احنا فاهمينه صح. هنا بيقول two matrices A and B belongs to M, the set of all matrices M by N. لغايه هنا بس انت فهمت ايه؟ They have the same dimension. Same dimension. So both of them, A and B, have the same dimension. So if I'm talking about 3 by 3, A 3 by 3, B is gonna be 3 by 3. If A 4 by 4, زي ما محسن قال هتبقى B برضه 4 by 4. يبقى أنا عرفت الديفينيشن الأولاني. Of all elements, of all scalar values that may be real or complex. Done. كمل. Are equal. امتى يبقوا equal؟ Dimensions are the same and the whole entries are exactly the same. So actually, equality in matrices, it's like copies. You are taking a copy from a matrix to equal another matrix. Same dimension, same entries exactly. The same entries stand for homologous entries. So once you see homologous entries, it means that they have exactly the same entries in these two matrices. طيب أنا استفيد من ده إيه؟ طيب فاهماني؟ أوكي. المعنى إن لو عندي two matrices عشان to equal to each other لازم ال element 1 1 يساوي ال element 1 1. element 1 2 يساوي النمبر 1 2 and so on. الكلاس ده من الماتريسيز دي كلها الماتريسيز اللي يتحقق فيها ده يبقى اسمهم ايه؟ اسمها ايه؟ ده معناها ان الانتريز ار ذا سيم. طيب الايكواليتي اوف ماتريسيز مالك تفرق معايا ايه؟ او تفيدني في ايه؟ بص كده. If I told you that matrix A equal to matrix B and matrix B from anywhere, I already know that it's 2, 3, negative 1 and 4. Matrix A for me now, it's exactly the same entries. So if A is equal to 2 over x1, 3 over x2, 4 over x3, 5 over x4. Can you get the values of x1, x2, x3, x4? Yes, it's really very simple. How are you going to do it? قولي لي كده. مالك. So 2x1 should equal to 2. Okay? That's x1 is gonna equal to 1 in a similar manner. I have the knowledge that A equal to B. So 3x2 should equal to 3. So same way like 3 over x2 should equal to 3. That's gonna lead to x2 equal to another one. For the value in the second row first column, which is gonna be 4 over x3 supposed to equal to negative 1, which is gonna lead to x3 equal minus 1 over 4. Okay. Once more, please. 2x1 equal to 2. So 2x1 equal to 2. That's x1 is going to equal to 1 because you will divide both sides with 2. See? Same way like for 3x2, which is going to equal to 3 in a similar manner. Okay? So dividing by 3 is going to lead to x2 equal to 1. Same way like for the element that exists in the second row first column, which is 4x3, supposed to equal to, so that's x3 is going to equal to minus 1 over 4. You will divide both of them. Okay, for the fourth one, for x4, 4 over 5. Done. I'm able to do this Malak. Why? Because I know the equality between the matrices. That the corresponding elements should equal to each other. Okay? معايا زينة؟ في مشاكل مع حد؟ تمام؟ واضح؟ ده اسمك ايه؟ يوسف. اوكي. Very good. That required from the equality of these matrices. شباب this example لو جاب لك multiple choice or ممكن to depend on that. You will see more exercises. We have a book actually of exercises. So as I told you previously, once we finish that, I will send you the slides of this one and also the exercises till you have an access for one. Okay. Okay. Look to the two matrices A and B. Is okay, for A and B. Can you identify the value of A? 3. Yes, A is going to equal to 3. And the other missing one, which is B. B equal to 0. I'm sorry. B equal to negative 1. Yes, you are right. طيب بص على ال two matrices دول A and B. Are they equal to each other? ليه لا؟
عشان ليه هنا 2 لو بتعمل 2
هنا A is gonna equal to 2 but هنا 2A is gonna equal to 2 which is not make sense. It has two values so A will never equal to B although they have the same number of rows and same number of columns. واضحة؟ ها شور؟ كله تمام؟ اوكي هنا حابب نكلمك شويه على التايبس اوف ماتريسز. طبعا matrices may be on the form of a row matrix. row matrix دي يبقى شكلها عامل ازاي؟ plenty of columns but just only one row. So it will take from its name it's going to be like this. For example, 1, 3. So it's going to be 3, 2, and 1. So this is 1 and 3. 1 row, 3 columns. The column matrices are the matrices with plenty of rows but just only one column. Like this, for example, if I have 3 times 1, for example, 3, 0, negative 1. Okay, for a square matrix, it is the set of all matrices which they have the same number of rows and the same number of columns. So it will start from 1 by 1, like this, for example, or it will be 2 by 2, 2 rows, 2 columns, maybe 3, 0, 4, and 5, 3 by 3, 3 rows, 3 columns, and so on. Those are called the square matrices. For any, or in general, for any square matrix, let's say for 3 by 3, let's say 3, 2, 1, negative 1, 0, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The elements that exist on this diagonal, those are called the principal diagonal, or the main diagonal, or the first diagonal. All of them stand for the main diagonal of a square matrix. The other diagonal, it's called the secondary diagonal. So the secondary diagonal in this matrix is going to be 1, 0, and 7. So, لاحظ in the numbers, remark that the numbers 2, 1, and 5, it's like a triangle. Yes? And also for the numbers, negative 1, 6, and 7, it's also a triangle. So in a square matrix, the square matrices are the matrices which have the number of rows equal exactly to the number of columns. So it's like a square. Okay, the principal diagonal, it is the diagonal in this direction. Maybe in some reference books we call it principal diagonal, main diagonal. Some will call it the first diagonal. For the secondary diagonal, it's the other way. So it's going to be 1, 0, 7, for example. Okay? I'm sorry. Yes, 1, 0, and 7. This is for the second. الماتريكس اللي جنبها يبقى إذا البرنسبل